speaker is Miss Runa Menezes, an assistant professor of English literature at Carmel College, Nouveau, for 8 years. Miss Runa is a certified trainer for Trinity College London grade and certificate examinations in speech, drama, and communication skills. She is an active member of Toastmasters International, a former president of the Goa YMCA Toastmasters Club, Panji. Having taught at the English Department of Dempo College of Commerce, she is currently serving as an assistant professor in the English discipline, School of Languages, Literature, Goa University.
Please welcome to the stage Miss Runa Menezes.
A wise man once said, and I quote, "Fear is like looking in a bathroom mirror late at night and wondering who's more afraid, you or the person staring back at you." Good afternoon, everyone. Raise your hands if you're afraid of spiders and creepy, crawly creatures. Okay, a lot of hands going up there. So what are some of the other fears and phobias that people may have? Could you tell me? Heights? Say it out loud. Snakes, frogs, fear of failing, very good. Water, you can just say it out loud. Agoraphobia, claustrophobia. Okay, wonderful. You are aware. Fantastic. You're really good at knowing the names, the scientific names of all these fears. Now, I want to ask you another question. What do you think is considered to be the number one fear or the biggest fear among all of these? Any guesses? Heights? Fear of the unknown? Fire? All right, let me tell you. Okay, it's good that you're guessing, and maybe some of you have guessed the right one, but studies claim that fear of public speaking is the number one fear, even greater than the fear of death. Can you believe that? So some people would rather be dead than stand up in front of an audience and speak. I often wonder why so much fear and anxiety around public speaking. I remember as a child standing in front of an entire morning assembly, forgetting my lines and feeling completely embarrassed. Most people have had at least one experience of freezing on stage or feeling completely intimidated by so many faces staring back at you, right? But having been in the field of teaching, training, and public speaking for many years, I've learned that most of these fears stem from certain beliefs. For instance, oh no, everyone's looking at me. I'm sure I look funny or awkward. Have some of you thought this? My God, I'm so nervous. I'm going to make a fool out of myself. I am the center of attention. I have to make a good impression. Or, I can't remember what to say. My mind is going blank. Do these sound familiar? Have these thoughts gone through some of your minds at some point in the past? All right. Let me tell you a little secret here. When you come up on stage to speak, the audience is watching your every move, correct? They're scanning you from head to toe, right? They're judging you and looking to see if you slip up or make a mistake or forget your lines, right? Wrong. Right now, as I stand here on stage, the boy in the corner there is tugging at his socks because it's too tight at the ankles. The girl there is feeling the rumble in her tummy and thinking of the burger in her lunchbox. The teacher here has her mind on ensuring the event goes off smoothly. And some poor kids in the back there are yawning and thinking, when will this be over? My point being that the audience is only interested in themselves. When you are seated in the audience, you are most focused on your comfort, your needs, or whether your hair is in place just in case someone is checking you out, right? And as far as the speaker on stage is concerned, the audience is only interested in What's in it for me? The audience is only bothered about what they're getting out of it. They're not bothered about you, unless they're your mom or dad. When I discovered this secret, it changed the way I looked at public speaking and even teaching, which is my core profession. I stopped worrying about making a good impression and started focusing on giving the audience something of value, even if it was a small message or a tiny nugget of inspiration. At this point, let me tell you a little story. Okay. I want to also tell you that many of these scenarios that we discussed, feeling afraid, thinking you're the center of attention, are based on, or they trace back to 3 basic fears. The fear of making a fool of yourself, the fear of being judged, or the fear of failure. And you don't have to have these fears anymore, since you know that the audience is in their own world, unless, of course, you're giving them something that they want. So my story is of a little girl who always dreamed of being a singer. She would picture herself singing in front of the mic to an audience of enthralled listeners. The only problem was she did not have the voice of a singer. But that did not stop her from dreaming. And because that little girl was me, I can tell you with confidence that dreams do come true, because I grew up to become a brilliant singer. Or maybe the next best thing, a decent speaker, which isn't too bad, right? In fact, I'm so passionate about public speaking that I set the time aside to be part of a club that focuses on developing public speaking skills. And believe me, I can tell you from experience that it is your passion that drives you, that keeps you going, that gets you up in the morning. And you should all have your own passion. And if public speaking is one of them, that would be amazingly great. So the next time you are called up to speak in front of the audience, walk up confidently or hesitantly. It doesn't matter. Speak your heart out or say just a few words. The important thing is to start. It's important to try. What's more important is to get out of your comfort zone, because it's outside the zone of comfort and familiarity that you will find success. I've always believed that if I can give my audience, or if one person in the audience is inspired by my words, my job is done. And if that one person happens to be someone I'm going to meet at home later today, that would be grand. I'm Runa Menezes, and I have a voice.